Hi, welcome to Rathod's IAS. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 13th February 2022. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 8 topics which are relevant from our UPSC point of view. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see a small introduction regarding those topics. Now we are going to have our discussion. So first topic, it is about China violated written pledges. So this is a thing which mainly said by our External Affairs Minister. Actually, he said this statement in this Quad ministerial meet. So again, we are going to discuss about this Quad once again. So this article is important from your international relations, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic is about APEDA. So in page number 5 of Delhi edition, I found one poster regarding this APEDA. APEDA, it is going to celebrate this 36th Foundation Day. Actually, this APEDA which plays an important role regarding our exports. Okay, so here this topic will be important from your economy, which mainly comes to the GS paper 3, and this topic will be very important from your prelims. Okay, you can get statements regarding this APEDA. So we are not going to take any chance. We are going to discuss each and every topic which is very much relevant from our UPSC. And next topic, it is about WFP to allot Indian wheat in Afghanistan. Already you know that now Afghanistan, which is under control of Taliban, and it is facing some extreme humanitarian crisis and economic crisis. So already if you are following our news analysis, I think 15 days or 20 days ago, we discussed that Pakistan accepted, especially for the trucks to pass through Pakistan. Okay, so these trucks will carry this food grains, so that will be helpful for humanitarian assistance for this Afghanistan. Okay, so that is the thing which is mainly continued in this article. So this thing, it is important from your international relations, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic is about scanty snowfall could signal Kashmir's warming climate. So what happened, there is a very scanty snowfall that recorded in this Kashmir in this year especially. Okay, so this is the one signal, it is saying that there is increasing of warming climate in Jammu and Kashmir. So this article, it is important from environment and ecology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3, and we can link this topic in our climate change. And next topic, it is about Pacific Bloc. Okay, the Pacific Forum. So what happened recently, Micronesian states, especially 5 states, they want to withdraw from this Pacific Bloc, and there is a development regarding this development of this Micronesian countries to leave this Pacific bloc. So this topic, it is important from your international relations, and you need to know about Micronesia and where it is located, exact location on your map. So this will be important from your map based questions. And next topic, it is about optimistic look. Okay, so this article, it is important from environment and ecology. So it is mainly talking about polar bears. And next topic, it is about Proxima third planet. Okay, and this topic is also important from science and technology. And next one is James Webb Space Telescope, which mainly spotted the first star in this Ursa Major. So here we need to focus on this James Webb Space Telescope. So this will be important from your science and technology. So here, what are the topics that we are going to discuss on the Sunday's newspaper or in the Sunday's analysis? So most of the topics will be covered from environment and ecology and even science and technology. So I can say the best source to cover current affairs regarding environment and ecology, science and technology, it is your Sunday's newspaper. So please don't skip this Sunday's newspaper. And now let's get started with our discussion with the today's quote. Okay, today's quote is regarding women empowerment. Quote here says that feminism isn't about making women strong. So you might be coming across this word, that is feminism. Okay, when you're reading newspaper or when you're reading any articles. Okay, so we'll be coming across this word, that is feminism. So feminism, it isn't about, okay, it is not about making women strong, because women, they are already strong. So if you compare men and women, women are much stronger than compared to that of men, because especially in the paid management, especially in all the fields, they will be looking after their households, and some women, they are mainly working outside as well. And women nowadays, they are also we can see women, they are even in army, and even they are mainly running trains and also pilots. So because of this, now in this 21st century, we can say that women is as far as capable with men. Okay, in spite of this, women are also more stable and as well as more strong than men as well. but here this feminism, it is about changing the way the world perceives that strength. Okay, so it is not about making women strong, because already women are already strong, but we need to change how the way the world which mainly perceives that strength. So this is the concept of this feminism. Okay, so you can use this quote whenever you are writing about women related issues, especially from your society and social issues, and this quote that you can use even in your essay as well, because women and women related issues, it is one of the favorite topic of UPSC. You can get mains questions for sure, and even essay sometimes on this women empowerment and women related issues, so you can use this quote there. So now let us try to see the first article. So title says China violated written pledges. Okay, China violated written pledges. It is a thing which mainly said by our External Affairs Minister. So here we need to know about what is this Quad. Okay, we need to know about key highlights of this recent Quad summit, and we need to know about some statements which are given in this article. Okay, so these are the some perspectives that we need to develop regarding this article. So if you're talking about context, it mainly says that China's decision to amass troops along this line of actual control was violation of written commitments. So if you're talking about India-China agreements, we had number of agreements regarding maintenance of stability at this border area. But now what happened, since 2020 April May onwards, we are facing standoff across this LAC region, and this standoff that also led to this Galwan Valley incident in 2019. So because of this 2020, so because of this Galwan Valley incident, about 20 soldiers, they lost their life from Indian side, and from Chinese side there is no particular number. They didn't reveal the data regarding how many soldiers they had died in this Galwan Valley incident. From Indian side there are about 20 soldiers, they lost their life in this Galwan Valley incident. So what happened, since then we went for different rounds of talks between India and China, but no talks had been bring a proper result and proper status quo at this LAC, that is line of actual control. Okay, so even though there are some areas, still we need to go for disengagement. Okay, for example Dipsang Valley area, Hot Spring area, etc. So this is a one important thing which mainly said by our External Affairs Minister. External Affairs Minister said that Chinese decision to decrease or to reduce this troop or to bring status quo across this LAC region, so it is one of the violation of its written commitments. So here our External Affairs Minister, he made this statement especially in the meeting with Australian Foreign Minister, okay, in Melbourne. So now let us try to see some important details which are highlighted in this article. So if you see some more details, it mainly says that the commitments came amid global concerns over tensions in Ukraine as Russia and NATO amassed forces along the border. So what happened because of this Russia-Ukraine issue which is happening? So Ukraine want to join this NATO, but Russia says that Ukraine should not join the NATO, and Ukraine need to give assurance that they are not going to join this NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Right? So because of this, what happened across this Russia and Ukraine border, there is increasing of Russian military that is mainly seen. So this is the thing which is mainly this is the one issue which are mainly discussed in this Quad. So in this context, our External Affairs Minister said that there are several questions on Indian side also that is present on the same page as Western countries. In present situation they are present, especially in Ukraine. Okay, so here on the same way India is also facing this troops which are mainly seen at this LAC region, and there is military standoff that is happening since 2020 onwards. So this is the thing which mainly said by our External Affairs Minister. And the situation at this LAC in Ladakh had arisen due to disregard by China in 2020 of written agreements with us not to amass the forces at the border. Okay, so this is a statement which is given by our External Affairs Minister. He said that, so whatever the present situation that we can see across this LAC, that is line of actual control in Ladakh, so this situation which mainly arose due to some disregard by the China, okay, mainly regarding the written agreements. Okay, so this is some important thing which mainly said, and in this context our external affairs minister also said that whenever this type of issues are happening means, so this will be very much discomfort for international community as well, because one country is related with another country and we will be having some bilateral ties, and even many countries are they are mainly part of some regional forums, okay, regional blocks, etc. So because of this, if anything which is happening in one country, that will be obviously affecting the another country as well. Okay, so in this context, our Ministry of External Affairs here also dismissed a Chinese statements attacking the Quad Forum of Australia, India, Japan and USA that meet on Friday as a tool to contain China. So China said that, so whenever there is a meeting which is happening along this Quad or even in AUKUS, so at that meeting here Chinese mainly condemn this meeting and says that, so these are the forums, or these are the groups which are mainly formed to contain, that means to mainly to contain this China here. So this is a statement which is mainly not accepted, or we can say dismissed by this our external affairs minister. And he also said that, so this Quad grouping, it is a grouping of 4 countries like Australia, India, Japan and US. These are the nations who are belonging to this Indo-Pacific region. So they mainly came together especially to promote peace, prosperity and as well as stability in the region. So this is a statement which is given by our external affairs minister. So if you are talking about what is this 4th ministerial meeting of Quad, so actually recently this Quad which mainly conducted this 4th ministerial meeting in Australia in Melbourne city, right? You already knowing this. So the Quad security dialogue, which is a partnership of 4 countries, so those countries are Australia, India, Japan and USA. So recently Australia hosted this 4th Quad ministerial meeting that mainly held in Melbourne city, and it is for the first time Quad foreign ministers they meet since 2 Quad summit. Okay, this is the first time here Quad foreign ministers. So in this summit, especially foreign ministers of these 4 countries, they mainly had a meet. So now let us try to see some highlights. So if you see highlights, so they mainly talked about 26/11 Mumbai and Pathankot attack, and also they focused on speeding up of delivery of COVID-19 vaccines, and they also talked about how they can go for better manufacturing of vaccines in India, and also Quad reaffirmed about regarding free and open Indo-Pacific region. Okay, and also focus to protect the interest of the people who are concerned in this area. And this Quad meeting also aid for especially they had also some discussions regarding the climate change in 2022, and they said that they need to take some measures especially to ensure there is a maritime security that is seen in this region. So these are some important things that you need to remember regarding this topic. And now let us move on to next topic. So next topic, it is one poster I found in the page number 5 in Delhi edition. So whatever the page numbers I given, it is mainly based on Delhi edition. Okay, so it mainly says that Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. It is this year we are going to celebrate the 75th year of independence, and this APEDA celebrates 36th Foundation Day on 13th February 2022. Okay, so on today we are mainly celebrating this 36th Foundation Day of APEDA. So if you see some graph which is mainly given here, so if you are comparing with the exports when this APEDA formed, and if you see this 2020 to 2021, there is sharp rise of exports that is seen. So whenever there is increasing of exports, so it is one of the important good sign for the country, because whenever there is increasing of our exports means we will be getting money in exchange of this exports, so that we can get in the foreign currency. So this will be helpful for our maintaining of forex reserves as well, right? And if you see here, APEDA in collaboration with farmers and some sub-exporters and even processors and state governments, they significantly contributing for especially achieving of our Prime Minister target. Prime Minister target here is to achieve about $400 billion mercantile exports in financial 2021 to 2022. And our Prime Minister also mainly focused on vocals for locals. Okay, and he also said regarding global for Atmanirbhar Bharat. So because of the support which is coming from the farmers and exporters, processors and state governments, so these are the things which are mainly achieved by this APEDA. So this is the thing which mainly said by this APEDA. So you can see this facts here. So APEDA mainly was set up in year 1986. Okay, so when it was established in 1986, it mainly established through an act of parliament. So we can say it is a statutory body, and which mainly comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. You have to remember this ministry as well. And if you're talking about this APEDA, which mainly links farmer producer organizations and even farmer producer companies and farmers cooperative societies and even some agri startups and as well as exporters, and with these links what happened, this APEDA which is mainly exporting the goods to other countries. Okay, so actually some of the functions are mainly done by this APEDA, or what are the some initiatives which are mainly taken by this APEDA means, first one is it mainly focus on quality development, and even it will go for encouraging some quality certification. So in this way it will be helpful for enhancing of our exports, and our products will be having good demand in the markets. Okay, so these are the some important things which are mainly said in this infographic. And now let us try to see some facts here. So first one here is APEDA. So APEDA mainly stands for Agriculture and Produced Food Products Export Development Authority. So it is Agriculture and Processed Food Export Development Authority, and actually this APEDA which mainly established by Government of India, and which mainly comes under one important act, that is Agriculture and Processed Food Export Development Authority Act of 1985, and later on after this act which is mainly came up in 1986, so this APEDA which was mainly established, and it mainly comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So this is very important prelims fact. And if you are talking about what are the functions of this APEDA, so first one is it is mainly responsible for export promotion and development. Okay, it is mainly focused on export promotion and development. So which are the products which are mainly exported? For example, you can talk about fruits, and recently if you are following our PIB, then you might be knowing about this lychees, mangoes, oranges, etc. So there is increasing of exports of these fruits as well. And next one is vegetables and their products, and even meat and meat products, poultry and poultry products, dairy products, okay, biscuits, bakery products, honey, jaggery, sugar. So these all are the products which are mainly exported by this APEDA, and this APEDA also being entrusted with responsibility to monitor the import of sugar. Okay, so it is also focusing on import of the sugar, and even it looks after the development of industries which are mainly related to this scheduled products. Okay, so it is also talking about subsidy schemes and as well as feasibility studies, etc. that will be done by this APEDA. And next one is it is also go for registration of persons as exporters, and as well as it will be also going for registration of so and so products by fixing some standards, etc. Okay, so this will be helpful for the purpose of exports. And next one is it will be also carry out some inspection of meat and as well as meat products in slaughterhouses, and even it will go for checkups in especially in some processing plants and storage premises, etc. And it will be focusing on even how to improve this packaging, okay, of this so and so products, such that there will be increase in the demand for our Indian goods in the international market. So these are the some important things that you need to know regarding this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding this WFP, that is World Food Program. So World Food Program to allot Indian wheat in Afghanistan. So already you know that Afghanistan which is mainly facing some humanitarian crisis. So because of this, now recently India came with an agreement, and it said that it is going to export so and so amount of this wheat and food grains, such that it will be helpful for Afghanistan mainly to come out of this humanitarian crisis. So it is also called as humanitarian assistance. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that India recently signed an agreement with United Nations WFP, that is United Nations World Food Program, and it said that it is going to distribute like 50,000 tons of wheat, which has committed to sending Afghanistan as part of humanitarian assistance. So whenever any country which is mainly facing some crisis means, so we will be having United Nations, right? So under this United Nations we will be having this World Food Program. So it will be helpful, it will be going for some aiding or helping so and so that country then this is called as humanitarian assistance. So in this humanitarian assistance also, India signed an agreement that we are going to distribute about 50,000 tons of wheat as humanitarian assistance for this Afghanistan, right? And if you're talking about some important details, it mainly says that so diplomatic efforts, they are underway to begin sending truck convoys through Pakistan by road. So actually what happened, if you see, this is India, this is Pakistan, and here we have Afghanistan. So Afghanistan, which is a landlocked country, that means it do not have access to this seas or oceans. So because of this, if you want to reach this Afghanistan, we can go through Pakistan, but Pakistan will be not allowed by via roadways or via airspace. So what happened, we are mainly trying to reach this Afghanistan by using this Iran. So in Iran, we are having this Chabahar port, and we are reaching this Chabahar port, and from here, from Chabahar port, we will be having some roadways or railway links, and we are reaching this Kabul. Okay, and recently what happened, because of this Taliban who had control over this Kabul, okay, so because of this we are seeing some economic crisis in Afghanistan and even humanitarian crisis. So because of this, what happened now many countries are mainly coming forward to provide some humanitarian assistance for this Afghanistan. So in this context, Pakistan accepted that Indian trucks which are carrying food grains that can use this Pakistan, okay, that mainly through roadways. Okay, so diplomatic efforts, they are underway to begin sending truck convoys through Pakistan by road, and the transport is expected to begin after Punjab elections. So in Punjab, we are going to have this assembly elections. So after once elections is done in Punjab after February 20, so we are going to use this Pakistan's road especially to provide some humanitarian assistance for this Afghanistan. So this is the thing which is mainly given in this article. So this agreement, it was announced by Indian Embassy in Rome. So in Rome, why in Rome? In Rome, it is the headquarters of this World Food Program of United Nations, right? So this is the one important thing. And this World Food Program, it is to take charge of wheat convoys when they reach Afghanistan and to distribute them to those Afghans who are facing this humanitarian crisis. Okay, so by using this Pakistan, we are mainly transporting our food grains to this Afghanistan, and after reaching Afghanistan, so that food grains will be distributed to these Afghans who are in humanitarian crisis. So according to this memorandum of understanding, the wheat will be taken through Pakistan to Afghanistan border, okay, and handed over to these WFP officials in Kandahar. That is going to begin from February 2022 onwards. So now let us try to talk about some facts regarding this World Food Program. So this World Food Program, it is one of the leading humanitarian organization. Actually, it is mainly focusing on saving of lives and as well as changing of life. It mainly focused on delivering of some food assistance, especially in the countries that are mainly facing some emergencies. And even so, this World Food Program will also work with communities to improve nutrition as well as to rebuild resilience. Okay, so these are some important functions of this World Food Program. So apart from this, actually this World Food Program, which was founded in year 1961 by FAO. FAO stands for Food Agriculture Organization and United Nations General Assembly. So actually as I said earlier, headquarters of this World Food Program, which is located in this Rome, Italy. Okay. So actually this World Food Program, it is one of the member of United Nations Sustainable Development Group. Okay, so this group, it is a coalition of United Nations agencies and organizations, and they mainly aim for fulfilling of the sustainable development goals. Okay, and this is the international community which mainly committed to end hunger, and even it focused to achieve food security and to improve nutrition by 2030. Okay, so this is our international community which mainly committed to end hunger, and even it is mainly focusing to achieve food security and to improve nutrition by 2030. Actually this World Food Program, which mainly assists about 88 countries, okay, and it mainly assisted about 97 million people in 2019. Okay, it is one of the largest number which was assisted by this World Food Program since 2012. Okay, so this is about this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. Now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding scanty snowfall. Scanty snowfall could signal Kashmir's warming climate. So as you all know that climate change which is happening and there is increasing of global warming. So how can we say that there is increasing of global warming? So whenever there is melting of glaciers, or whenever there is some changes which are mainly seen. So because of that we can say these are the some examples, so that mainly suggests that there is increasing of global warming. So one such an example that we can say there is evident of this global warming here is very scanty snowfall that is mainly seen in this Kashmir. So it is one of the sign of global warming. So this article that you can use whenever you are writing this global warming related things, and if you want to give the example that yes, global warming is happening, so in this context you can give this example that so in recent days in 2021 to 2022, so there is a scanty snowfall that is deposited in this Kashmir. So it is one example which mainly shows that warming climate not only seen across the world, even in the Kashmir it is also evident, right? So now let us try to see this topic, and this topic is important from your environment and ecology. So now let us try to see the context. If you see context, it mainly says that Jammu and Kashmir, okay, Jammu and Kashmir, it is a summer capital will be the Srinagar, right? So in this Jammu and Kashmir, so we saw there is a significant drop in the number of spells of snow this winter. Okay, when we are comparing with the previous 4 years, and in this year there is a number of spells of snow which mainly decreased. Okay, so because of this, weather experts mainly says that there is warming of climate that is seen in this Jammu. Okay, so because of decrease or reducing the number of snow spells, here weather experts mainly says that there are some warmer months that is mainly seen when we are comparing to that of past 4 years. So if you see some details, it mainly says that according to data which is released by this IMD, that is India Meteorological Department. So according to the data which is mainly released by this IMD, that is India Meteorological Department, this data which is released in November 2021. So this data which mainly saw there is no major wet spell of or snow in Srinagar against the 5 wet spells. Okay, if you are comparing with 2020, 2029 and 2018, there were good amount of wet spells that are mainly seen. But in 2021, there are very less spells, and even this IMD says that there is no major wet spell that is seen in this 2021. So this mainly says that so this winter we are having some harshest spell. Okay, so here winter's harshest spell that is called as Chillai Kalan. So here this might be a prelims question. So recently Chillai Kalan is seen in news. What it is related to? It is related to winter spells in Jammu. Okay, so you have to remember this name, that is Chillai Kalan is nothing but winter's harshest spell. So saw 3 wet spells, but there is no snowfall in 2021. In 2021 there were just 3 wet spells, and this spells also like water but not in the form of a snow. So this is the one thing which mainly said in this article. Okay, so in this way we can say whenever there is decreasing of wet spells and there is decreasing of the snowfall, so it is one of the best indicator of the warmer winter. Okay, so whenever the temperature is high means this snow will be melted, right? So because of this snow which is melted, we can see the rainfall in the form of water droplets rather than snowfall. So it is one of the best indicator. It is one of the best indicator of warmer winter this year, which is mainly reflected in the early blooming of flowers. So because of the warmer temperature, okay, because of this warmness that is seen here, so what happens, the blooms of the flowers also we can see very much earlier. Okay, actually it used to be start in the 2nd or 3rd week of February, but this time because of warmer temperature or warmer weather and because of less snowfall there, so early blooming of flowers also seen in this last week of January. Actually usually they used to come in the 2nd or 3rd week of February. And we also saw like early sprouting that mainly visible this year. It is one of the seasonal variation that can be seen in this Srinagar area. Okay, so this is the one important thing. And what might be the reasons for increasing of temperature? So first and the foremost reason which is mainly highlighted in this article here is, so if you are seeing the population of the Srinagar population is mainly increasing. Okay, it is about 1.26 million. So this population which mainly constitute like 10% of total population of Union Territory. Okay, so population which is mainly increasing in this Srinagar, and because of increasing of population, what happened, there will be increase in the demand for use of vehicles, and there will be demand for increasing of construction of buildings by using concrete, cement, etc. And there is also rapid urbanization, and also that led to decreasing of green cover in this area, and we can see there will be increased vehicular emissions. So because of all these reasons, that led to increasing of greenhouse gases. And if you're talking about expansion of this urbanization, means that will lead to urban heat island, right? So because of all these things, there is increasing of temperature that is mainly seen, and we can see because of this increase in the warmness, the number of snow spells which mainly decreased, and because of this we can see there will be some seasonal variations like blooming or blossoming of flowers very much earlier, and sprouting that happened very much earlier in this Srinagar region. And not only this study, there was also one study which mainly done by local researchers. That study title here is evaluating variability, the trends in extreme climate events in the Kashmir Valley. Okay, so another study which is mainly done by the local researchers, it mainly says that evaluating the variability and trends in the extreme climate events in the Kashmir Valley. So this study which also suggesting that there shall be the more extreme events in the maximum temperature that going to be seen in this area. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Micronesia. So Micronesian states to stay in Pacific bloc. Okay, it is talking about Micronesian states to stay in Pacific bloc. So actually, I think 1 year back, one statement which is given by this 5 Micronesian states that they are going to come out of this Pacific bloc. And now this is the one development regarding that statement or announcement which is given by this Micronesian countries, I think 1 year back. So this article is important from your international relations, which mainly comes in the GS paper 2. And this type of topics will be also important from your map based questions in your prelims. So now let's get started. Let us try to see what is this article it is about, and we need to also look after the background as well. So if you see context, it mainly says that 5 Micronesian nations, okay, 5 Micronesian nations which mainly suspended breakaway plans from crucial Pacific Islands political bloc as US Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived the region. So what happened? US Secretary of State who mainly arrived this region, right? So I think you might have come across this word Oceania. So Oceania is nothing but we have Australia. So nearby Australia we will be having many island groups. Okay, Australia along with this nearby island groups, it is called as Oceania. So already you know that in this quad meet here US Secretary who visited this Melbourne city. So he also visited this Micronesian nations. So whenever US Secretary of State arrived at this region, so these 5 Micronesian nations, they mainly suspended breakaway plans from this crucial Pacific Islands political bloc. So this is the one important thing, and this is the context. And if you're talking about details, it mainly says that Federation States of Micronesia, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Nauru, Palau, they agreed to temporarily rescind. Okay, they mainly agreed that they are not going to talk about this coming out of this Pacific Ocean bloc. Okay, that is Pacific Island Forum for temporary period. And these 5 territories mainly announced a year ago that they are going to quit this group. Okay, so now let us try to see what was the issue, why these nations want to come out of this Pacific Forum. So if you're talking about this Pacific Island Forum, it is one of the most influential organization in this region. Okay, and actually what happened, it is in trouble after 1/3 of its member nations, they abandoned this group. Okay, about 1/3 of these nations, they mainly abandoned this group. So these countries, okay, so the Exodus country represents that it is one of the biggest deflections that is mainly seen in this 50 year of this forum. So actually what happened, because of this climate change, especially these island nations who are present in this ocean, they are most vulnerable. Okay, for example, if you say these are the island nations that is present, for example, these are the big continents that are present, and there are small, some very small island nations are present. So because of this climate change, what happens, so whenever there is increasing of sea level, so there is very increasing of sea level means what happened, these islands, what happened, there will be having some threat of submergence under this water. So because of this, so these are the nations that need to be taken into consideration whenever there is any climate change related actions that are mainly taken up. So because of this, so these nations, especially these small island groups which are present around this Australia, nearby Australia, so they mainly come together and they form this forum. Okay, so what happened here recently, this federation states of Micronesia like Palau, Marshall Islands, Nauru and Kiribati, they have withdrawn from this Pacific Island Forum, okay, because of new Secretary General elections, because of dispute in this new Secretary General elections. Okay, so because of this, they want to come out of this Pacific Ocean, that is Pacific Island Forum. So if you are talking about map where these are located, here we have Australia, right, and here we have this here we have this Micronesia, which is mainly present towards north of this Australia, and here these islands which mainly comes under this Melanesia. Okay, and here we have these islands which mainly comes under this Polynesia. So here we have Micronesia, Melanesia and Polynesia. So you have to know this map for sure. And together these Melanesia, Polynesia and as well as Micronesia along with Australia, they will come under our Oceania. So now let us try to see some facts regarding the Pacific Island Forum. So if you're talking about this Pacific Island Forum, actually these Pacific Islands Forum, it is nothing but it is one of the region which is a premier of political, economical and as well as it is a policy organization. Actually this organization was founded in year 1971. So it mainly includes political, economical, policy organization. Actually this Pacific Island Forum which mainly contains 18 members. Okay, 18 member countries are present. For example, Australia, Cook Islands, Federation States of Micronesia, Fiji, French Polynesia, Kiribati, Nauru, New Caledonia, New Zealand and New Palau, Papua New Guinea and Republic of Marshall Islands, Samoa, Solomon Islands, Tonga, Tuvalu and Vanuatu. Okay, so these are the members of this Pacific Island Forum. So actually if you are from anthropology background, you might be coming across number of islands here like Solomon Island, Samoa. So if you are talking about expeditions, okay, so you might be coming across this different Micronesia and as well as Polynesia, Melanesia regarding islands. Okay, I think you might be very much familiar regarding these names if you are from anthropology related background. So if you're talking about this, what are the important aims of this Pacific Island Forum? So if you're especially talking about important aims, so it mainly focusing to foster cooperation, that is to boost up the cooperation between governments and as well as it also focusing on collaboration with international agencies. Okay, and it will mainly represents the region of peace, harmony, security, social inclusion, prosperity, etc. It is mainly focusing on all these issues. Okay, so now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding optimistic outlook. So actually this article is mainly talking about this Paris climate deal, okay, Paris agreement. So this study which mainly says that to reach this decreasing of 2 degrees centigrade of temperature, when we are comparing with a pre-industrial level, it is a very difficult and we need to do something more to reach this target. So this is the thing which mainly said. And here you need to know about some facts regarding this Paris climate deal or Paris agreement. And this topic is important from GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that the study by University of Colorado, okay, study by this University of Colorado, which mainly finds that so when we want to reach this Paris agreement deal, okay, by restricting this global temperature that is 2 degrees centigrade above this pre-industrial levels, it is still within a reach. Okay, so we need to do much more. So if you are talking about details, so recently this study which is mainly published in environmental research letters, which says that some of the worst case scenarios are mainly projected earlier, which is not plausible. So we can see some worst scenarios, worst case scenarios which are mainly projected. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this Paris Climate Accord, so what is this Paris Climate Accord? So here you need to know about legal status, when we went for adoption of this Paris climate deal, and even what are the goals and objectives. So if you're talking about legal status of this Paris Climate Accord, so actually it is a legally binding international treaty. Okay, it is a legally binding international treaty on climate change. So it is a legally binding international treaty on climate change. So we are talking about adoption. So it was adopted by 196 countries. Okay, so it was adopted by 196 countries at the Conference of Parties, that is COP. So these are mainly adopted by 196 countries of this Paris, this Paris climate deal, which is mainly adopted by 196 countries, and it mainly adopted in this COP21. Okay, recently this COP, Conference of Parties 26, which mainly held, and it was adopted in this COP21 that held in 2015. So this is the one important year that you need to remember for sure. And if you're talking about goal, what is the goal of this climate accord? It is to limit global warming. It is to limit global warming to below 2 degrees centigrade. Okay, to below 2 degrees centigrade when you are comparing with it of pre-industrial levels. And if you're talking about what is the important objective, so important objective here it is, the first important thing here is we need to achieve long-term temperature goals. Okay, we need to achieve long-term temperature goal, and countries aim to reach global peaking of greenhouse gases emission as soon as possible to achieve a climate neutral world by mid-century. So by mid-century we need to reach this global peaking of greenhouse gas emissions. So because of this we need to take some steps. That steps should not be short term but should be long term. So this is gist of this topic, and now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding this Proxima, third planet. So this article is important from your science and technology, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. And this topic it is especially important from your prelims, not from mains much. So if you're talking about what is the context, why it is in news. So if you see the context, it mainly says that a new exoplanet has been found orbiting this Proxima Centauri. So actually this Proxima Centauri, it is the nearest star that is seen very much near to the sun. Okay, so it is just 4 light years away from the sun. So around this Proxima Centauri there was one star which is mainly a new exoplanet which is mainly orbiting this Proxima Centauri. So this is the one new study which is mainly found as. So if you are talking about some more important details that are given in this article, it mainly says that named this Proxima d. So this is the third planet which mainly to be found in this system. So which mainly orbits the star between it and the habitable zone. So it is one of the third planet which is mainly found. Okay, it is mainly orbiting this star. So it takes 5 days to complete one orbit. Okay, so this is the one important thing. And what is the importance regarding this Proxima Centauri here is, so you can get a question like Proxima Centauri is seen in news, what it is related to. So in this way also you can get a question in your prelims. So here if you are talking about what is significance of this Proxima Centauri means, it is also one of the another near earth sized planet, and we can see there is a habitable zone, that is life may be existed on this also. Okay, so because of this is very important. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding James Webb Space Telescope. James Webb Space Telescope spots its first star in Ursa Major. So in Ursa Major it is mainly spotting its first star. So this article is very important from your prelims point of view, especially you need to know some facts regarding this James Webb Space Telescope. So this article is important from your science and technology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that NASA's new space telescope, which mainly captured its first starlight. Okay, it mainly captured first starlight, and even it took a selfie of its giant gold mirror as well. So because of this, it is one of the sensational thing and it is one of the good thing. Okay, and if you are talking about details, it mainly says that, so whatever the segments that are present in this space telescope, that is 18 segments of primary mirror on this James Webb telescope, they are seeming to work properly. Okay, properly after 1.5 months. After 1.5 months, we saw that these 18 segments which are mainly present, okay, in this primary mirror of this James Space Webb telescope, they are mainly working. And the telescope's first target, it was a bright star. It is like 258 light years away from this constellation, that is Ursa Major. Okay, and this telescope's first target is like a bright star, and this star it is like 258 light years away from this Ursa Major. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this James Webb telescope, it is one of the most powerful IR telescope, that is infrared telescope of NASA. So here you have to remember this NASA. And actually this James Webb telescope, it is mainly considered as successor of Hubble telescope. Okay. And this made it launched into this low Earth orbit. So if you're talking about types of orbits, you will be coming across low Earth orbits, medium Earth orbits and high Earth orbits. So actually it is mainly launched to this low Earth orbits in 1990. Okay, 1990 the Hubble telescope has made more than 1.4 million observations. And Hubble has captured galaxies merging probe supermassive black holes. So this mainly helped for understanding the history of our universe. Okay, so actually it's successor of this Hubble Space Telescope. So this Hubble Space Telescope, which mainly launched in this low Earth orbit, and it was launched in year 1990. So after once it's launched, it came up with 1.4 million observations regarding interstellar object and capturing the comet. Okay, and discovering of moons around the Pluto. So these are some important developments or significance of this Hubble Space Telescope. And if you're talking about this James Webb Space Telescope, this is the image of that. So here it mainly contains science instrument module. Okay, it mainly contains science instrument module, and here we have trim flap. So this trim flap, which mainly helpful for the stabilizing of the satellite, and it's also having this solar power array. Okay, it always faces the sun. Okay, the panels convert this sunlight into electricity, and whenever it is converting this sunlight into this electricity, so this will be like fuel for this satellite. And next one is earth pointing antenna. So antenna will be there, it will be sending the signals, sending the science related data. Okay, which mainly receives the commands from this NASA space network. And next one is also having some spacecraft bus as well. So it mainly contains most of the spacecraft steering and as well as controlling machinery, and even includes some computers and as well as reaction wheels that are mainly seen in this spacecraft bus. And it's also having some star trackers. Okay, so in this star trackers, it will be having some small telescopes. Okay, that mainly use stars patterns, and even that mainly targets observatory as well. And next one is it will be having some multi-layer sun shield. Okay, so it will be having like 5 layers. So you can see in this image, it will be having like a 5 layers of this shield that is present. And it is also having the secondary mirror, and also it will be having the primary mirror. So this primary mirror, it mainly has like 18 hexagonal segments. Okay, so this is the thing which is mainly said in this article. And this secondary mirror, which also reflects the gathered light from the primary mirror into the science instruments, as it will go for analyzing. Okay, so this is about the structure of this telescope, and this part will be very important from your prelims. I hope it is very clear. So these are some important articles that appear in today's newspaper, and now let us try to see answers for your yesterday's questions. So for question is regarding Rajya Sabha is equal to Lok Sabha. Okay, Rajya Sabha has equal status of powers as compared to the Lok Sabha in which of the following? So first one is introduction and passage of financial bills involving expenditure from Consolidation Fund of India. Yes. And second one is impeachment of vice president. So in impeachment of vice president, Rajya Sabha will be having more powers than compared to that of Lok Sabha. And if you are talking about impeachment of president, there Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will be having equal powers. So we can eliminate this second statement. Okay, next one is impeachment of president. Yes, equal powers will be there. Enlargement of jurisdiction of a Supreme Court UPSC. Yes, equal powers. So correct option will be only 2 is wrong. That is 1, 3, 4 are correct. So option 4 is correct answer. And next question is regarding anti-defection law. Okay, the 10th schedule of constitution, which mainly provides provisions for disqualification of member of parliament on the grounds of defection. A member does not incur disqualification which of the following cases? So first one is a nominated member can join any political party after 6 months, but it should be before 6 months. You can eliminate this first statement. Okay, and if you eliminate this first statement, direct answer will be this 2 only. So in this way, you can go for elimination method. So the Speaker of Lok Sabha voluntarily gives up his membership. It is not at all. Okay, it will be not comes under this disqualification because he need to do the duty of a speaker, right? And next one is members abstain or votes against the direction given by political party. Yes, it will mainly it will be not coming. So actually the Speaker of Lok Sabha voluntarily gives his membership, so it will be not coming under this disaffection, okay, because he need to do his duty of the Speaker. So in this way, whenever any person who is from the Lok Sabha who elected as Speaker, they need to go for voluntarily giving up of membership in that political party, so it will be not coming under that. So here 2 is the correct answer. So now let us try to see the today's question. So first question is regarding Lok Sabha again, that is regarding election of Lok Sabha. So in election of Lok Sabha, we are going for this proportional representative system. So what will be the advantages, or we can say like why we are going for this proportional representative system, okay, which is not preferred by the constitution framers for the election of Lok Sabha. Okay, if you are talking about election of Lok Sabha, we are not going for this proportional representation system. So what are the reasons? So you have to read the statements. There are 4 statements and give the correct answer. And next question is regarding cabinet committees. So there are 2 statements which are given and you have to choose the correct answer. So these are the questions for today's practice. So these are some important articles and the questions explanation for today. And before concluding, I want to make a small announcement. So in Rathod's IAS, we are providing this prelims test series and as well as mains answer writing course, and even foundational course will be available for your 2023. We are covering entire foundation course. Apart from that, if you want to take some individual modules, for example, if you are weak in history or if you are weak in economy or geography, so individual courses are also available. So that also very affordable. So we are not focusing on commercial manner, so but we want to give some amount of service. So for that only we are offering a minimum price for each and every course. You can join those courses, and per hour it will be like less than 80 to 90 rupees. Okay, you can see how much affordable these courses are. So try to join these courses, and if you want to talk to me directly, you can call to this number 8074765513. Okay, details of this course are given in description box, and these courses that are available in our Rathod's IAS Academy website. You can visit our website. There you can watch 3 demo videos without paying a single penny. So after that only you can go for payment of these courses. Okay, and new batch of this mains answer writing practice, it is going to be started from first week of March. So if you want to join, please be hurry up. Okay, and this registrations will be open from the last week of February. Okay, so by this I am concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. Thank you so much.